Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to this press conference. I will begin with an announcement. We welcome the announcement on the operationalization of visa-free transit for Indian nationals transiting through French airports. As you may recall, the removal of the requirement of transit visas for Indian passport holders was agreed between Prime Minister and President Macron during their meeting in Mumbai in February this year. The government of France has now operationalized this agreement, and Indian nationals transiting through mainland France exclusively by air will no longer need a transit visa with effect from 10th April 2026. So please note the date, 10th April 2006. The decision reflects the enduring partnership between India and France, elevated to the level of a special global strategic partnership during the recent visit of President Macron, and further facilitation of smoother movement of people and enhanced people-to-people ties. So this is the announcement. We'll also have a press release on this, so you can refer it to that. With that, I open the floor for questions. फ्रांस ने एक पहल किया है. जब प्रेसिडेंट मैक्रॉन की यात्रा हुई थी भारत की, उस दौरान भारत और फ्रांस के बीच में ये तय हुआ था कि जो हमारे लोग हवाई मार्ग से फ्रांस जाते हैं उनको ट्रांजिट वीज़ा की ज़रूरत आगे से नहीं पड़ेगी. इस समझौते को फ्रांस की सरकार ने इसको लागू कर लिया है और ये 10 अप्रैल 2026 से अब लागू होगा. विशेष जानकारी के लिए और अधिक जानकारी के लिए जो हम लोग प्रेस विज्ञप्ति इस पर जारी कर रहे हैं, उस पर आप नज़र डालें. 10 अप्रैल से लागू हो, विथ इफेक्ट फ्रॉम, सॉरी, हो गया. So with that, we open the floor for questions. Siddhant?
Sir, first, of course, Japan has lifted their export on the export of lethal weapons. What's India's response? And secondly, on Donald Trump endorsing a post comparing India and China as hellholes, what is the reaction of the Indian government?
Sorry, can you repeat your question again? Second question?
The second question is Donald Trump has endorsed a post. The post compares India and China as hellholes. What is the Indian government's response on the US president terming India in a derogatory manner?
And your first question was about export controls?
Export controls being lifted by Japan, exporting of lethal weapons now allowed by Japan, which is a break in the past when it comes to traditional policy of the Japanese government.
This is part of the defense equipment.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
सर, रक्षा मंत्री राजनाथ सिंह ने कल कहा कि पश्चिम एशिया के मुद्दे पर भारत भी कोई आने वाले वक्त में भूमिका निभा सकता है. उस भूमिका को लेकर अगर कोई जानकारी आप साझा कर सके, किस तरह की भूमिका हो सकती है?
Look.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Ashok from The Pioneer. There is a multiple videos circulating from India and Nepal border, and which is showing about the Bhansar and something related to customs. And there is a very, negative impressions is roaming around the border area, especially from the Bihar and Nepal. Your comment would be great.
ये वीडियो काहे की बात कर रहे हैं आप?
ये customs implementations
लागू करने के.
ठीक.
Okay. Avanyu?
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, any information on whether we are going to continue imports of oil from Russia? Is the sanction waiver extended? And sir, secondly, on the India-US trade talks, our delegation is already on its way back. Any information on whether there is an outcome from the talks?
Salesh?
So amid alteration of balance of power in Strait of Hormuz, when Pakistan is playing interlocutor and Pakistan also deploying weapons and fighter jets in Saudi Arabia, Our NSA has visited Saudi Arabia, sir. So how is it's gonna make our position stand there, and amid the escalation and ongoing blockade, sir?
Okay, Siddhant, first to your question regarding some of the recent announcements, changes made by the government of Japan. India welcomes Japan's review of the three principles on transfer of defense equipment and technology. Defense and security cooperation forms an important pillar of India-Japan special strategic and global partnership. As part of the joint declaration on security cooperation between India and Japan, both sides have committed to increase practical cooperation in the interest of their national security and continued economic dynamism. This includes promotion and facilitation of technological and industrial collaboration between the government entities and private sector stakeholders for resilience in sectors critical to national security. So, we welcome the steps that have been announced by Japan. In regard to your second question, we have seen some reports. That is where I leave it. आपका सवाल रक्षा मंत्री के वक्तव्य को लेकर था. देखिए, जहाँ तक पश्चिम एशिया का सवाल है, वहाँ जो संघर्ष चल रहा है, उस पर हमारी नीति बहुत साफ है कि हम हमेशा से शांति के पक्ष में खड़े रहते हैं और शांति के पक्ष में, शांति के पहल के लिए कोई भी कदम उठाया जा रहा है या उठाया जाएगा, उसका हम समर्थन करते हैं. इसके अलावे हम लोगों ने हमेशा से ये कहा है कि कोई भी मसला हो, कोई भी संघर्ष हो, कोई भी मतभेद हो, उसको डायलॉग और डिप्लोमेसी के माध्यम से, यानी कूटनीति और संवाद के माध्यम से सुलझाना चाहिए. तो ये हमारा पक्ष है और यही हमारा भारत का पक्ष है. अभी अशोक, नेपाल के मामले में वी हैव, you rightly pointed out several social media reports. We've also seen some reports about enforcement by Nepali authorities of pre-existing provision that outlines collection of customs duty from cross-border travelers in case they carry items which are purchased in India, of course, and which have a value of over 100 Nepali rupees. We understand that the government of Nepal has taken this step primarily with the intent to curb informal trade and smuggling. We have also seen a statement by a senior Nepali official stating that civilians carrying personal goods or household goods will not be obstructed. We remain engaged on these developments. ठीक है, ठीक है. हमको लगा आप बोल रहे हैं कि इसको नेपाली में बोलिए. आप सीमा के निकटवर्ती से आते हैं, इसलिए मुझे लगा. कुछ रिपोर्टें हम लोगों ने देखी हैं, कुछ खबर देखा है जिसमें ये बताया जा रहा है कि नेपाल की सरकार जो भारत से लोग जाते हैं और अपने साथ कुछ सामान लेके जाते हैं, उस पर वो कस्टम्स ड्यूटी लगाएगी. ये प्रावधान पुराना है, लेकिन उसको अभी उन्होंने लागू किया है. साथ ही साथ ये हमारा समझ है कि ये जो कदम नेपाल के सरकार ने उठाया है, ये जो अनौपचारिक व्यापार चल रहा है और साथ ही साथ जो तस्करी चल रहा है, उसको ख़त्म करने के लिए, उसको कम करने के लिए, इसके लिए कदम उठाया गया है. मैं ये भी कहना चाहूँगा कि एक वरिष्ठ नेपाली अधिकारी की तरफ से ये वक्तव्य आया है कि जो लोग भारत से जो लोग नेपाल जा रहे हैं, अगर अपने साथ में वो निजी सामान ले जा रहे हैं और निजी इस्तेमाल के लिए ले जा रहे हैं, तो उस पर कोई रुकावट, उस पर कोई कदम नहीं उठाया जाएगा. ठीक है. जैसे मैंने कहा कि ये कदम उन्होंने उठाया है और जो लोग अपने निजी इस्तेमाल के लिए सामान अपने साथ ले जा रहे हैं, एक मिनट सुन लीजिए, जो लोग हमारे यहाँ से नेपाल की यात्रा कर रहे हैं और साथ में अपने सामान ले जा रहे हैं और वो सामान उनके पर्सनल यूज़ के लिए है, निजी मामलों के लिए है, हाउस होल्ड गुड्स में आता है, तो उस पर कोई कस्टम ड्यूटी नहीं लगेगा। बाकी रहा कि इस मुद्दे पे नेपाल सरकार से हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं। Amandi, on oil, again, I will only say what I have said on several occasions. Please refer to a statement. That remains our point, that energy sourcing for us is based on certain parameters, and those parameters I have emphasized them in the past as well, and it continues to be that. That remains to be the case. On bilateral talks on India-US bilateral trade agreement, yes, a team from India went to Washington DC for negotiations on a bilateral trade agreement. These engagements are ongoing and constructive. Both sides are working towards a balanced, mutually beneficial and forward-looking trade agreement, taking into account each other's concerns and priorities, and to reach a trade target of $500 billion by 2030. So that is where we are on the bilateral trade agreement. Shailesh, on National Security Advisor, visited Saudi Arabia. This was part of our outreach to countries in the Gulf. This was done on the direction of our Prime Minister. Earlier, External Affairs Minister also had visited UAE, and our Petroleum Minister had visited Qatar. In addition, we also had outreach made by our Commerce and Industry Minister, who spoke to several of his counterparts. As far as Strait of Hormuz is concerned, you know our position very well. We continue to call for unimpeded access or unimpeded navigation and transit rights for commercial shipping. More? Ishi?
This is Yeshi Seli from Business India. How many ships are still stuck in Hormuz, especially after that incident where a ship which was cleared was fired upon? And how many are still there? How many have come back to India? And also, I have a question on the 8th Naval Veteran Commander Purnendu Tiwari. He was cleared by a court in Qatar on March 12th of the financial misappropriation charges. Why is he still languishing in jail? It's been over 2 years and 2 months.
From
सर ब्रह्म प्रकाश द्विवेदी जी न्यूज़ से मेरा सवाल है अभी इसके पहले सिद्धांत ने भी सवाल किया था कि जो ट्रंप की पोस्ट है भारत को और चीन को लेकर और भारत की तुलना नर्क से की गई है, इस पोस्ट को लेकर देश में नाराजगी है और खासतौर से बड़ी पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज हैं। कांग्रेस पार्टी ने कहा है कि भारत सरकार को इस पर ऑब्जेक्शन जताना चाहिए अमेरिका के साथ, क्योंकि ये पोस्ट निंदनीय है। तो इसको लेकर क्या भारत सरकार अमेरिका के समक्ष विरोध जता रही है या अपनी आपत्ति जता रही है? भारत का क्या रोक है? थैंक यू।
ओके, प्रणय।
So Pranay Upadhyay from India Today and Aaj Tak. Recently, there have been again some incidents of firing involving some ships in Strait of Hormuz, and there are reportedly some Indian seafarers on board on those ships. So what is the status of those seafarers, Indian seafarers, and how many incidents involving Indian ship or the Indian seafarers involving these firing incidents in Strait of Hormuz in last 2 days?
Please.
Saurabh from the Outlook Business. Is India still importing the Iranian oil, and if yes, can we get some details?
So first, Yeshi, coming to your question on Indian ships, we have 10 Indian ships which have exited Strait of Hormuz safely in the last few weeks. We have 14 Indian ships which are still in the Persian Gulf. On your second question regarding Commander Tiwari, let me make it very clear. Please don't conflate two issues. The court judgment that you are talking about, that's a separate March 12 court judgment. He was sentenced by Qatar's Court of Cassation along with Omani owner and other Qatari officer. This judgment came in February of 2026. The other case that you are referring of March 12th, that's a separate case in which he has been given relief, but presently he is detained in this particular case on which the Court of Cassation of Qatar gave a ruling, sentenced him. That judgment came in February of 2026. As far as we are concerned, we are in touch with his family and we are extending all possible support. I would again like to mention, because we see that all issues get jumbled up, that this case in which Commander Tiwari has been sentenced is a separate case from the one in which he and others were released following GUI's intervention. There are two separate cases. इनका जो सवाल है सिद्धांत का सवाल था, उसका मैंने पहले ही जवाब दे दिया है. वही सवाल आपका ही है प्रणय. कल की बात है, जो फायरिंग हुई, 2 विदेशी जहाज पे फायरिंग हुई थी. उस पे कुछ हमारे भारतीय क्रू मेंबर्स, नाविक थे, वो लोग सुरक्षित हैं. और ये 2 जो जिस पे फायरिंग हुई है, एक विदेशी जहाज हैं. तो इसके बारे में मेरे पास विस्तृत जानकारी नहीं है क्योंकि विदेशी जहाज हैं. और लेकिन मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि ईरान की सरकार से हमारा लगातार बातचीत चल रही है ताकि जो हमारे वहाँ पर शेष जहाज हैं वो सुरक्षित भारत आए. ये सवाल आपने अंग्रेजी में किया था. Anyway, so just to say that, in these 2 ships which were fired, they are foreign owned. There are some Indian nationals on them, on board these ships. They are safe. As far as our ships are concerned in the Persian Gulf, we continue to remain in close conversation with Iranian authorities so that they can safely exit Persian Gulf and reach India. The other incident which had happened involving 2 Indian ships, that happened on last Saturday, on which you must have seen the statement that we issued. Saurabh, on oil, our position on what we buy, how we buy, etc., that has been made amply clear. Please refer to those statements. More? Swasni?
So Hasini Heather from The Hindu. I wanted to ask Secretary West, Sibi George is in New York. He met the UN Secretary General. He addressed the IGN on UNSC reforms. I wanted to ask, 1 year after Pahalgam, is there any movement on India's desire to designate the TRF as a group? Was this raised by India with the UN Secretary General and with other members of the UN Security Council at present? And why is it that there has been no movement on this issue, which about 11 months ago a specific MEA team had gone to New York just to discuss? The second question is, he in his statement on UNSC reform, India has backed the Africa formula for 26 states. Will this include the veto as well for the new members of the UNSC? Thank you.
Jessica.
Hi sir, this is Jessica Taneja for Doordarshan Network. According to Bangladeshi media reports, they're suggesting that ammunition made in India by the ordnance factories has been found in the Chittagong hill tracks. Any comments on that?
Please.
Hi, I'm Shalu from Deutsche Welle. I have 2 questions, sir. On Defense Minister Singh's visit to Germany, could you share how close the 2 countries are to locking the submarine deal? And the other question is about, we're hearing some reports on Mr. Modi's upcoming trip to Europe for the India. Could you share the agenda, the dates, anything you may have finalized?
Neeraj.
सर नमस्कार, मैं नीरज दुबे प्रभा साक्षी से. सर, यूक्रेन के राष्ट्रपति ने प्रधानमंत्री मोदी और कुछ अन्य विश्व नेताओं का नाम लेकर कहा है कि उन्हें राष्ट्रपति पुतिन को वार समाप्त करने के लिए सीधे सीधे कहना चाहिए, क्योंकि वो और बाकी मध्यस्थता के जो प्रयास थे वो सब विफल हो चुके हैं. तो इस पर आपकी क्या प्रतिक्रिया है?
Okay. So first, coming to Suhasini, your question. Secretary West is traveling or has traveled to New York. He made several statements there, including, if I'm not wrong, in the ECOSOC. He also met the Secretary General, and several issues that are part of our agenda at the UN were discussed. In regard to TRF, I can say that the monitoring team is considering this, and we continue to push hard because we want to strengthen global fight against terrorism. And in that regard, it's important that UN member states are on board with how we approach fighting terrorism globally speaking. On UN reforms, UNSC reforms, these are some of the technical issues, but our point remains that global governance needs to be changed because they have to be anchored in contemporary realities. There are several proposals. I am not particularly clear about the technicalities that you mentioned, but yes, we want to push for broader, more democratic global governance, which includes the voice of the global south, which includes other countries who aspire to be. India, of course, has a stake in expanding global governance reforms. Jessica, your question. We have seen some reports. It would not be appropriate for me to comment on unverified media reports on this particular issue, but it may be noted that Indian ordnance factories operate under strict guidelines and under very strict accountability and stringent accountability frameworks. Shalu, on the visit of Defense Minister, this visit has happened after some time. You saw we had the Chancellor of Germany visiting India this year, and this is a follow-up visit. Both countries want to strengthen their defense ties. The visit covered several aspects. You would have seen the press release issued by the Ministry of Defense, but just to reiterate some of the highlights, this was an official visit of Raksha Mantri, which took place from 21st to 23rd of April. He held bilateral talks with his German counterpart, His Excellency Mr. Boris Pistorius, focusing on defense industrial collaboration, military-to-military engagements, and opportunities in emerging defense technologies. Two key outcomes of the visit includes the signing of the Defense Industrial Cooperation Roadmap and implementing arrangement for UN peacekeeping operations training. Raksha Mantri also addressed the German Parliamentary Standing Committee on Defense and Security. He also met with several defense representatives in Germany. In addition, he had public engagements as well, which means he went to the Humboldt University to speak there, and he also had an interaction with the Indian community in Berlin. This visit of Raksha Mantri came after several years, after a gap of 7 years, but it has given a big boost to India-Germany defense partnership. नीरज, आपका सवाल यूक्रेन को लेके। यूक्रेन पे जो हम लोग पहले कहते रहे, भारत हमेशा से शांति के पक्ष में रहा है और हम चाहते हैं कि कोई भी मसला है उसको संवाद के माध्यम से और कूटनीति के माध्यम से सुलझाया जाए।
Subscribe to One India and never miss an update. Download the One India app now.